everyone, and welcome to Bronyville. This is Bronyville episode number 129, recorded on November 16th, 2013. I'm your host, Apple Cider. Hello! Howdy ho. Hey, Sandy.
We survived.
We're still here. We somehow made it. You're back. I'm back. We're all in our respective zones. Hello to all of our fans out there, Justin TV, podcast land, however, wherever you are. We're back again. Hope you're happy we're here. We've got lots of guests.
Yes, lots of guests.
A lot of them being guests. Well, first off, go ahead and go down the roll call, since I think that you deserve the power to call upon the wondrous guests that were at the thing that you did a few weeks ago.
Call upon the sea ponies. By sea ponies, I mean my co-chair. First of all, joining us today is Mr. Bob Carr, co-chair for this magical ride that we called Nightmare Nights Dallas.
Howdy.
Joining us also this week is community guest Full Papers, who joined us all the way from merry old England, and is still in the States until he wings it back home to be British. He has to recharge his batteries once he gets home.
And he's very sorry he had to recharge his batteries to begin with.
I'm tremendously sorry for everything, yes.
And the eminently talented and very cool lady, Miss Sophie Cabra, who is another one of our guests of honor.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, Sophie.
So, it has been... It's so weird, guys. It really is. I have not yet readjusted to quote-unquote normal life. There's still some stuff that has to be done convention-wise, but it's just like... Okay, the convention's not taking up 20 hours of my day and all of my headspace. This is weird.
But is there really such thing as a normal life for you now?
No. But we'll get to that in a bit.
Yes. All right, well, we got some great guests. We're going to definitely talk about a Nightmare Nights Dallas wrap-up from all of these great people, including myself. All of us were there. Starry was there. She's over here sleeping right now, so, poor Starry tired herself out. Anyway, we have some important questions that we must ask our guests. Sandy and I are known for the crazy loves that we have for characters and episodes, but we have to go and first check back in. Bob, favorite character, favorite episode?
I believe I will still have to go with Twilight. Can I pick a favorite episode? I don't know that I can. Still going to have to go with Magical Mystery Cure, I think.
I'm just going to put it as the MMC. Ends up working out. All right, Full Papers.
Favorite episode is still Lesson Zero, but I think my favorite character has changed.
Uh-oh. Oh, danger here. What are we going with?
I'm going to get myself in trouble because I usually say Davenport, the Quills and Sofas pony, because I have a great affection for him. I think he must have an awesome backstory, and there was a fantastic Davenport cosplayer at Nightmare Nights, but I think I need to finally come out and just say that my favorite character is really Luna.
Yeah. Oh boy, you and Tetra have so much to talk about now. Mainly Luna.
How can you not love Luna?
She is a pretty cool horse.
She is nighttime horse. That is true.
And actually, Sophie Cabra just did a really beautiful piece on Luna as well. I was catching up on DeviantArt and I saw it and I was like, oh, it's Best Pony. Oh wait, I can't say that. I have to say Davenport.
I think I drew Davenport for you once, but you're the only person that knows of him. Yeah, there was one a year ago. You requested him and I doodled him.
Thank you. I must find that. I've got it somewhere saved.
Everyone has a weird, obscure pony that they like a whole bunch. There's just one hidden somewhere that everyone likes. All right, and Sophie, what about you? Favorite character, favorite episode?
As far as favorite character, I guess Brayburn. Out of all the ponies, I just like him a lot. He's cowboy pony. And then my favorite episode would probably be the Cutie Mark Chronicles. It was the first episode I ever saw.
All the way back in season 1, and a really good one, too.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great one.
Fantastic. All right, excellent. So we have all of you on. We'll talk about Nightmare Nights Dallas in just a little bit, because there is so much stuff to talk about because we all lived it for some of us for 3 days, for some of us 5 days, and for some of us a whole year. So
14 months or so.
Something like that.
Still having flashbacks.
So before we do that, Sandy, who is our wonderful sponsor?
Wheel of Fine. Shirts for every pony. They've really, really expanded as of late. They've got stuff like Hatsune Miku and stuff from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Star Trek and Catbug. I don't know what Nemco High Game is. This makes no sense. I haven't looked at some of this lately. I'm like, that's strange. But yeah, they've certainly got the My Little Pony. But they've also obviously expanded into other such things. They can get the vinyl scratch and little statuette. The derpy one they got back in stock and then sold out again. So,
and I'm wearing a Wheel of Fine shirt too, but it's not a pony.
Huh?
Pick that up. Weird. Bee and Puppy Cat shirt.
They actually have a Princess Luna, like Vice Principal Luna dress. This is wild. My mind is full of what? It's $34, but hey, if you use our coupon code Bronyville10, you get 10% off.
I'll make it like $31.
For a minute there, I thought you said that you personally.
If Bronyville 10 isn't working anymore, well, then we'll figure it out.
If it makes you feel better, Foley, I heard the same thing. And curse my vivid imagination.
You cart.
Hey, whatever floats your boat. We don't judge here.
Well, Bronyville 10 does definitely work for another one of our sponsors. I'm making a face, Sandy. And that
would be BabsCon.
Yes! Good layout.
The voucher has expired, so I guess we should email them or stop talking about them. One of the two.
For now, we will reserve judgment.
We will reserve judgment. But yes, BabsCon. You can use Bronyville 10 at BabsCon to register and save 10% off your registration. And hey, guess what, AC?
Hey, what?
I'm going to be out there.
Yay!
I'm going to be working that con.
It's going to be in Burlingame, which is just south of San Francisco, just north of San Jose, right there near the airport SFO, 5 minutes away. Oh, we need to figure out when you're going to come out here so we can have some fun. Do some more Bay Area shenanigans.
I am still hoping to be able to come out in January.
Yep.
If I can come out like on a Wednesday and do the touristy thing again, now that I'm, significantly less fat and suspicious and can walk and stuff more. I'd like to see the city and not be in incredible pain.
Don't tell me that, because then I'll just end up going on more like 5-mile journeys. I don't know how it happens, but it's just 2 blocks away. Oh, except there was a 0 after that too. I'm sorry.
Roll them on out to Beta Breakers.
Yeah. Oh boy, Beta Breakers. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Oof.
Seriously, AC, it is a moral imperative that you take him to the pork store in the Haight.
I don't even know what that is, but sure.
Best breakfast anywhere.
And hey, if I get to come out there in January, and I'll also be able to come out there in April.
Yep.
Pretty cool.
Well, I definitely need to. I'm not sure I've had a definitive Mission burrito before, so we probably do need to make a stop by the Mission District and grab one of those.
Iguanas is pretty good down in San Jose, but yeah, as much as those guys on Bombcast talk about it, we need to go get a Mission burrito, and maybe we get to see the llama guy.
Yeah, heck, we could probably, if we scheduled it ahead of time, we could go high five the giant bomb guys.
I would really like to do that.
That would be pretty awesome. That as long as you give them some heads up, we'd be able to do that. Maybe go over to the tested office. We don't care, just some fun in the Bay.
I'll bring my 3DS, and we'll be able to spot pass each other.
We'll spot pass each other. We'll make so many spot pass friends. Hooray. All right. Well, let's go ahead and move forward. Those are our wonderful sponsors. Please go check them out. BabsCon, I believe, is babscon.com. I'm not on the webpage, but that sounds right, or you could Google it. Bronyville 10. Do it. So, Nightmare Nights Dallas, what was that?
It was a convention.
It was. That is correct.
We convened.
100% factual. All right. So we were all there. We were all present.
Yep.
Who was what? So you and Bob were officially the runners of said crazy.
Yes, Mr. Carr and I were the chairman. I'm obviously much more of the background pony, and Mr. Carr is definitely the talky pony. So we all had our roles to play that weekend. We were a little short-staffed, so I ended up in registration for most of the weekend, so I didn't get to see a lot of the con. So I made sure that everybody was able to get in and out and get their badges in a quick fashion. So that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. So
But
you were
I was going to say, I don't actually have that much in the way of memories of the convention, at least during the day. I got to see some pretty cool stuff at night and got to hang and chat with people, but during the day and most of the events, I was kind of tied down.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'd leave most of the convention talking as the events-wise, but Bob.
And Bob was definitely there at a lot of the panels. Usually catch any of the ones that are already up on Ponyville Live. There's usually Bob giving a nice intro to it all.
Poke my head in, introduce it, leave, come back an hour later, make sure nothing's on fire, leave.
You know,
Yep,
good.
I was just running from point to point, putting out fires all weekend.
Yep.
Well, I say putting out fires. We had no crises, which is nice. If completely outside my realm of experience at running conventions.
Okay.
Yeah, just busy on the feet 18 hours a day. And again, doing my one-man zombie walk by Sunday.
So let's do a little
It was
breakdown.
fun poking my head into the full papers after hour panel and wonder how much people are going to get in trouble for this when the video comes out.
Oh dear. We're going to try and keep that video for surfacing, I think.
We will suppress that video by order of
Let's.
Celestia.
Yes, please.
One of the better tips I got was from my, again, absolutely brutal wife, was what we should do is have 2 donation accounts started. You can donate for the video to be released, or you can donate for the video not to be released.
Oh, man. I'll check my bank balance.
Jamie kind of figured we could get huge donations from you and from the show staff, and similarly huge donations from all the attendees and fans.
I don't know, M.A. Larson, I don't know which way he'd go on that one.
Right.
Yeah, I'm
right.
He's not here.
Wait and
I'm
see
throwing
which
him
way the
up at the
wind was
bus.
blowing,
It
I
was
think.
his idea, not mine. I'm throwing response.
So
on him for that one. All his fault. Blame him.
Let's break this down real quick. Let's go over the details. How was the con? What was the attendance? What was the donations for charity? How'd that all turn out?
All right. Attendance-wise, well, we broke about 1,100.
For our first
Now-
year con.
Unfortunately, we don't have exact numbers. So the reasoning is thus. I know I printed out at least 1,200 badges in total. The vast majority of those being paid badges. The media got some. There was a very small amount of waste. Our guys were really careful with the printing. And, we ran out of all of our books. We ran out of all of our lanyards. And burned through at least... Well, I know we at least burned through 4 print cartridges, which is 1,000, at the con. So, yeah. we printed out a ton of badges, and we had a ton of people show up. So, we're going to say about 1,100. Which, truth be told, we doubled up at the door. We more than doubled up at the door. We doubled and a half at the door. 150% growth, I guess. I don't know what the term for that is, but I can't really think that straight right now. Charity-wise, via the Capper General Memorial Pasta Fund, we raised $3,120.86 for the North Texas Food Bank. I also personally delivered 186 pounds of food to them on Tuesday. Or was it Wednesday? It's all blurring together.
A day.
And then we raised 9,122.
9122. Some of the purchases and donations were either via credit card or PayPal, where they take their percentage. So 9122 net. It was a little over 9,200, but then the card merchants got their claws into it.
Yeah, $9,000 and 9,000 meals. And yeah, we did have Mdefmech, who was very helpful at the con, actually purchased himself a full set. But we actually didn't sell that many badges after close of registration on Sunday. We tried to make it known that the badges were available for purchase, and so M came and purchased one of each for like $2 a piece, and had this massive chest-covering pile of badges that all said Mdefmech. So yeah, I mean, we had a fantastic attendance. Our marketing locally and marketing that we did so heavily via this show and everywhere else, and the local comic shops, was incredibly effective. There is a market for this kind of convention in North Texas, and we're just really happy that it worked out that way.
And may I mention once more, as I spooked you on the at the closing ceremonies, just because I thought it was so cute. For anyone out there, I was with Sandy on Thursday night Thursday or Wednesday night? Wednesday night. And he was going like, I don't know, Cider. I don't know. May not make it. I'm scared. I'm like, dude, come on. You've done everything you needed to. You contacted everyone. You did all your marketing. I think that bronies are just not that good at pre-registration for events. And once everybody starts going on Twitter and going, wow, this con's actually really fun, they're all going to rush in, which is exactly what they did.
Yep.
Well, and the audience skews a little younger, and high school students aren't going to have credit cards, presumably, and high school students aren't going to have PayPal accounts and stuff like that. Plus, it's a Texas thing. Like every Texas con, A-Con's been going 25 years, 22,000 attendees, and they still had 8,000 people pay cash at the door last year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, yeah, it just happens here.
Well, that's good. So let's see. We've had a little bit. Let's talk to Foal real quick, because I haven't heard much out of him. How was you journeyed all the way from great old Britain to attend?
I did, and it was. I'm still. Yeah, okay. I can't even talk right now. The experience is still sort of settling, and my thoughts on it are still percolating, because it was such an amazing experience. It was fantastic. I had such a great time, but so much happened over the space of those 4 days that it's all beginning to blur together, and I can't even keep track. But it was definitely worth the long trip and the weird jet lag.
So when did you come in, and what were your highlights? And what can you remember of your highlights?
Oh, Wednesday I got in. The Wednesday before arrived, I think. Was it Wednesday or was it Thursday? Maybe it was Thursday. Ah, damn. Here we go. I arrived at some point prior to the convention. Some point. I met with Bob, met with Chef Sandy, met with you, met with all the people who were there, really. And within about half an hour of arriving, the registration area that had been set aside had suddenly turned into a party room, and beer was flowing, which was nice. And it all sort of went from there. The panels kind of stick out, because I was absolutely petrified of the panels I was supposed to host. And then they actually went off decently, so I was quite pleased with how that worked out.
And what was your favorite panel you would say that you attended?
I'm not going to say the MA Last panel, because that must never be mentioned again. I really like the... Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say that panel was packed to the walls, and I do recall it being quite rambunctious.
It was good fun, but it must never be mentioned again.
It happened.
It happened. It was a moment in time that will never come again. Favorite panel, I think, was probably the big cast and crew panel that we did on the Saturday morning with everyone up on stage, because everyone was really enthusiastic, and we had the proposal at the end, and Brenda Critchlow gave a really, really nice speech about how much the fandom was just had feelings towards the fandom and the show, and that was a good panel. They were all good panels, I think. They were all the audience seemed to like them, so. But that panel in particular was great fun.
Awesome.
And I was petrified beforehand. I was so scared, and then I was up there, and I was like, "Okay, cool, this is happening."
Excellent.
Is it over yet? Is it over yet? Oh, it's over. Oh, okay. That could have gone worse. Yay!
What cracked me up most about the panel that cannot be named was watching the filters come off as the panel went on, and more things just seemed like a really good idea.
Oh dear.
Or it didn't seem like a good idea since it didn't happen.
It didn't happen. No.
Well, let me go ahead and move over to Sophie real quick. Sophie, what about you? When did you get in, and what were your highlights for the convention?
I got in Thursday night, kind of in the evening, and then by the time I got there, everyone was in the red room hanging out. And then I think we went over to the Londoner that night, and it was so crowded that we actually, we hung out for a little bit, then we had to move to the other side of the restaurant just to find a table, because there were so many con people there. And that was a lot of fun, because I kept popping back and forth between the two rooms and visiting everyone. And I really enjoyed it. I mean, that was definitely a fun night.
Yeah, Londoner definitely got a big boost in sales over the weekend. That was kind of the go-to place for everyone. It's just like, there's a British pub down the way? All right, we're gone.
Mm-hmm, yeah. They had good food, too. So.
Yeah. Well, as much as Bob and I had talked it up, and the fact that we kept using it as our go-to spot for quote-unquote executive meetings, it kind of had this vibe that, okay, this is the place to be. And I actually went in there a couple times during the weekend and talked to the waitresses, and they said that everybody was very well behaved, and they kept seeing people in these pony shirts and these badges, and they were like, is this a thing? And I explained it, and they were like, oh, okay, cool. I mean, obviously they're like, hey, customers, we're not going to say nothing. Mm-hmm. But everybody was very well behaved. And that's actually something that I've basically seen across the board. Is everybody minded their P's and Q's and, personal space, and most everybody showered.
Yeah. Couch Crusader actually wanted to know.
But yes.
Couch Crusader wanted to actually know what Foal thought if he ended up going to the Londoner.
I did on that. Well, I also ended up there on the same night as Sophie, and I was quite impressed by it. They had some good beer on tap, and they were doing the Poppy appeal for Remembrance Sunday, which is a thing in the UK, and you don't really see it happen too much in the US. So I was impressed by that. So I was like, hey, this is actually fairly authentically British for a pub in North Texas.
Gets the British Authenticity Award from Full Papers.
It does. It has my stamp of approval for whatever that's worth.
It gets a nicely worded email at the end of the day.
Full of apologies.
I'm sorry to tell you, but I'm going to give you an award.
Exactly.
So let's see if we could. Well, my weekend, for the most part, I was helping with some of the guest liaisons. So I was helping out Mr. Peter New, voice of Big Macintosh, mostly, but also carting around a lot of the voice actors and some of the guests to and fro. Heard a lot of stuff I don't think I shall repeat.
Probably a good thing.
Some. Yeah. Ended up going to a really great Mexican restaurant with a bunch of them because I was carting them all around and then, picking up coffee. How many of you got to actually interact directly with the staff, and who was your standouts, of either the staff, crew, or the VAs?
Well, from what I saw, I was really impressed by the guys from DHX just milling around and enjoying the con space and interacting with people on a very personal basis. It humanizes them to a large extent because, I mean, they're guys that work on a show that we all like, but they're still guys, right? And, I think it was Friday night or Saturday night. Jim, Peter, and it was Jim, Mitch, and Jason all came in, and they wanted badges to go around incognito. So I printed them each up, badges that said "Nobody Important," and they're just regular attendee badges. And I handed them over, and they waltzed out there and just wandered around the con a while, because people don't necessarily know who they are, and so they just had a chance to go and enjoy the convention without being followed around and getting mobbed by folks.
Because having a particular badge, a different badge, sets you apart from everyone. Which, speaking of, the badges for the convention were gorgeous.
They were.
Absolutely gorgeous. I want every single one of them, and I cannot have.
I can get access to the badge printers.
You totally need to sell them. How many
get
different
access
designs?
to your wallet.
18.
18.
Wow.
18 different designs for these badges.
Joe really pumped them out.
The attendees themselves were designated into 3 camps, so you'd never end up different attendees would end up getting different badges. Like there was the media had a changeling badge and like all sorts of crazy.
Yeah. So I have all the images because obviously I'm going to hang on to them, and if I need to print. So we had attendees. We had 3 different attendees. We had the Celestial sponsor, Friday badge, Saturday badge, guest badge, preferred badge, 2 different security badges. We only used one of them. Sponsor badge, staff head badge, staff badge, volunteer badge, 3 different vendor badges. Then we also had the parent in tow, media, and just got to find where it ended up. And which other one? And the Sunday badge. Yeah. And yes, the media one was a changeling. As I hope that somebody was saying this ironically, with like, yes, the media is evil, and that's why they got changeling badges.
I was going to say, is that a comment on the Fourth Estate?
We'll have to ask Joe.
It's silly. Also,
So, yes.
it was an awesome looking badge, so I don't care.
Yeah, I tweeted it, so I'll just link it into the image into the show notes, because it is a good looking badge, and not a lot of people got them. People are like, oh, the changeling are evil, and I'm like, no, because it's an extremely exclusive badge, and my friends are media here, so let's get them a cool badge. It is very simple, and people, I guess, wanted to read a little bit extra into it. I don't know.
Yeah, whatever. People are people. So my most interesting experience, it was the first time I ever actually met Brenda Critchlow.
She is so cool.
Voice of Zecora, and that lady is classy. That is one amazingly nice and classy lady. I picked her up several times and transport, everything like that, as well as followed and helped out on Sunday. And she set it off the bat really well, because I came and helped pick up her and the crew on Friday, and they were all palled around, and we're talking Andrea, Ralph, who's their agent, Peter, all of them were kind of clustered together, and this is just random dude on Friday. They don't know my face, and I'm just going hey, it's me, I'm here to pick you up. And Brenda's just oh, hi, and extends her hand and goes, oh, how are you, what's your name? Oh, well, thank you so much for, helping us out and everything on this, and, hoping to have a really nice weekend. And I'm just hi, wow, you're really nice. She was just so open and warm, warm in the way of just, really engaging you. And she did that to everyone.
Yeah, she gave me a hug at the end. Because I had been stuck in registration, my sister made sure that I got at least some mementos, and they got me, full set of prints, and they all signed it. And Brenda wrote this incredibly nice, very long note on her print, and gave me a hug, and was this was amazing, and it made me feel very good. But she also was just going around the dealer's den, and talked to my parents, and she gave my mom a hug, and they got a photo with her, and she was just so personable. It was just really impressive. Obviously, you know, they're here to meet their fans, but I mean, you just above and beyond, and everybody was really impressed.
Yeah, Brenda, she was really nice. I actually sat next to her at the guest of honor dinner. Kind of by chance. I just sat down and she sat next to me. And she talked to me the entire time. And she wasn't just, you know, interested in pony stuff. She was asking about my personal life and, you know, my non-pony project like Caterwall. And she just wanted to know everything. And then by the end, at the dessert round, we were looking at the menu. And she's like, what are you thinking for dessert? And I'm like, oh, I can't decide between these two things. And she's like, that's exactly what I can't decide between. You know what? I'll get one. You get the other. And we'll share. And I'm like, okay. So we were just sitting there sharing each other's dessert, and she's just like, okay, well, now we're bonded because we're sharing food. And I'm like, okay, Brenda.
Yeah,
That's quite the
She was
life
pretty
coach.
awesome.
That's so sweet.
it was. Friday, I had almost a similar exchange with her because, you know, I was in a table with Ralph, a bunch of the VAs, and Karen, and it was me and Starry sitting there kind of just clustered away from everyone on this table. And I don't know how it got to it, but we started talking about cats because everyone starts talking about cats at some point if they have one. And then we're starting to trade cat pictures. Like, oh, this is Red. And she's like, oh, here's a picture of mine. She looks at Red and she's like, oh, I think that he's actually, you know, a Bengal. And, you know, we're just going off and trading stories on this about what they've done. Just like, this is so crazy. She has even when the topic started getting into sour grapes, she was like, I don't want to talk about that. I just there's too much time in the world to be happy. Why spend it, you know, being grumpy about something? And I'm like, that's a really good attitude.
Yeah, the dinner thing, Sophie, was not a coincidence. She loves fan artists. Like,
Oh,
have to
really?
make time for her to go through the dealer's room, have to make time for her to go through the artist alley. She wants to talk about them during the panel, etc.
Huh, interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that. I thought she was just, you know, sat by me for no reason.
Nope.
But like also Mitch Larson, just total bro, really cool guy. I mean, everybody was really cool. You know, but it really stood out that they were out there and engaging folks and just being real for the attendees. And I think that goes a long way to not even like rekindling, but like making people feel a lot better about liking the show, because the people that do the show are also really good people.
Yep. Now, here, you want a Mitch Larson story?
Go for
let's
it.
get some.
Okay, so we get back Saturday night from the Celestial sponsor dinner with the guests of honor, and Woody immediately latches on to the Fighting Is Magic being played, and Mitch wanders into the artist alley and looks around and then wanders down the hall. And keep in mind, I found out about this after the fact. He comes across a father and his daughter who are half asleep in the hallway because they can't spring for a room. So he just marches down to the front desk and buys a room for them for Saturday night. At this point, I run down and at least get it discounted, but it's too late and he won't hear any different. And, you know, he didn't spread that story around or anything. He's not looking for credit, but he just went and did it.
Yep, he did some similar stuff throughout the weekend, but yeah, that was the big one that kind of got spread around to just like, whoa, dag, good going, Mitch.
He's a very good guy.
Yeah. Mitch, Peter, pretty much you guys placed a whole bunch of guests that almost all of them are very personable and very open to reacting to the fandom. So, you know, it was all people who really work with a community and work really well at a convention being there. And that was kind of really some of the fun parts of just, hey, look, Peter New's just bouncing around. He's sitting at the bar and all right, we'll go talk to him. And I recall him just going and doing different voices. It just actually, I think you might have been there, Foles, where he was going like, now this is what they think a British accent is like, and this is an actual British accent, and this is how you go from Cockney to Australian, and we were losing it the whole time.
He's incredibly talented with those, and he made me do an American accent, which I'm like, I can't do an American accent. No,
what was
certainly not in front of you, man. Come on.
What was your American accent again? I forget.
No, you had to be there for it.
I actually have another Mitch anecdote from this weekend. So there was a panel that got submitted fairly early on called the Screenwriting Art of M.A. Larson, and there was a little bit of back and forth in the beginning. We told the guy that the guy submitted it was that Mitch was very interested in seeing, and he was like, "Who's Mitch?" But that doesn't really have anything to do with the anecdote, because during the con, I was out of registration. It was late in the evening, and the individual in question, I forget the guy's name. I'm terrible with names. I'm really sorry. Was sitting in the artist alley, and he'd been there all weekend, and he was just working on stuff and just there all hours of the day. It's a 24-hour artist alley. It worked out really well. And Mitch rolls up, and he's like, "Hey, I'm really looking forward to your panel tomorrow. I'm going to sit in the back. Is that okay?" He was like, okay. And he totally did. And apparently Mitch just sat in the back and watched this guy's panel, and it was a full pack. It was a full packed room. But I was just really impressed that he's like, "Yo, I'm looking forward to seeing this panel that you're going to do about me. I'm going to be sitting in the back, no pressure."
I'll catcall you every once in a while. You get something wrong, but always in just the greatest, like, always with great fun. Yeah, there was never really a point I saw anyone it was just kind of like, meh, stupid, bleh, hate this. And they all, and credit to both the con and themselves, they all came away and said they had a fantastic time. I even contacted Peter. I was like, "Hey man, just, had a good time. Just wanted to make sure everything was good and that the con was great." And he was like, "It was one of the best cons I've done." So he had a great
And they're
time.
not just saying that. They genuinely were enjoying themselves from what I could tell from my interactions with them. And from everything they've said post facto.
Helps that our attendees were polite.
So let's see, what else is there? I mean, there's so much we could really just rattle off for hours at this point, but I'm trying to think if there's any other highlights we should cover.
Well, there was that one guy who got engaged.
There was. We Are Borg.
Yes, and his fiancée. They proposed to her in front of God and everyone at the Everybody panel as a surprise. There were tears shed, liquid pride. And of course, we got that on video.
It was a very sweet moment.
Why would you not? Let's see. I'm trying to recall. There was a not an official event, but there was a little bit of an olive branch taken care of between one Capper General and Dusty Cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the whole thing. So, we've talked about the spaghetti incidents and stuff like that. And it seems like, end, the food drive went off great. And, Capper, how many pounds did Capper bring?
He had 75 pounds of pasta that he brought himself.
He donated
3 cases of spaghetti.
He dropped a whole heap of pasta right there at the con into the boxes.
And we were perfectly happy to let him do it.
And Thursday, they were at the Londoner with Dusty, drinking it up and having a good time. It's just like, look at this. It's like, look, all this stupid drama, all this dumb stuff, and it gets rectified just by people just being nice and having a good time and putting their energies towards not being angry and mean at each other.
Pretty much. It wasn't one of those uneasy truces like... Yeah, the hatchet is thoroughly buried.
Yeah.
Good.
It was one of those, just, it's... yeah, the amount, I have to say, is probably, for a con that I've went to, probably one of the least drama-y cons I've ever been to. And by far, I think, one of the least drama-y pony cons I've been to, so...
Yeah, we had our attendees were incredibly polite and well behaved. I mean, I think we had to kick out like one idiot for being a real idiot. Our EMTs, fantastic squad of folks, and we made sure we had all those people here and very well prepared, and we didn't need them. But like once a guy got too drunk at a convention. I mean, wow, what a surprise. But his friends were taking care of him, and Jade made sure that he was okay, and the ambulances didn't show up at all.
No need for the fire marshal to show up or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very happy to say that our security guys and our EMTs didn't have a lot of work to do this weekend. And that's a testament to the breed of folks we have down here in Texas, I guess, because a lot of them were high schoolers, a lot of them were families with kids, and a lot of them were first timers. And no real shenanigans.
No, I'm sorry, Sandy, but in fairness, our EMTs and security guys did not have a lot of EMT and security work to do. We just made them do everything else.
They did a lot of work elsewhere.
My security lead took my daughter and mother-in-law home at one point.
I think just the success of the con is a testament to how everyone involved in its production was willing to go above and beyond and just do whatever it took to make it as great as it was. So, I mean, I'm going to say thank you, even though you said during the closing ceremonies, don't say thank you to you and Bob and Chef Sandy and so on and so forth. But I'm going to thank you anyway, because it was an amazing time. I think everyone who attended had a fantastic time, and that's because you guys have been working so hard, and everyone has been working so hard to pull it off for the past however many months. So thank you. Well done.
And Bob pinned a really nice long thing that we posted to our Tumblr, where he basically runs down and thanks everybody by name and the guests and whatnot. I wrote down this really, really short, like, stream of consciousness thing, and Bob was just this big, long note. So I'll let his stand, and mine just kind of went away.
Yeah. So, stuff coming. First off, before we move away, do we have any swag we want to bring up? I've got. I'll bring this up to the camera. First off, is the Nightmare Nights Dallas Crown Plaza Addison con book that is included here. Oh, look, you get a big, nice picture of Mitch Larson there. There's some Brenda. There's some Andrea. Let's see, where's that? No, there's some Peter guy. Ugh. Not actually Peter New's voice. No.
Yeah.
There's Mitch.
Those con books, those were a good investment on our part. They had the full schedule, panel descriptions, map of the hotel. There's some pony guy.
High full papers.
I see myself. That's drawn from life, believe it or not.
Yep.
Sophie Cabra, Spain Fisher.
Yay!
Pixel Kitties, all the details, room blocks, maps, all the stuff, details.
We wanted to make it super easy for people to open their book and go, "Oh, that's where things are."
Somebody looked and they were like, "What's the hoof prints for?" It's like it's for
I don't believe
signing.
anybody said that to me.
No, someone in registration on Thursday picked it up and went like, "What's the hoof prints for?" It's for signing notes, whatever.
We didn't have a lot of space to include horse puns in our book. All right, we had to work with what we had.
had to get what you needed. Well, let me show off some of the cool stuff I got. I'll start low, go high. I picked this up as a testament to history.
Oh no. So we had Screw Loose. He does custom embroidered badges, because obviously people are listening to this and not looking at the video as you're holding it up. He had some Las Pegasus Unicon patches left over.
Oh, and they're so good.
He makes really nice stuff.
Oh yeah, they're gorgeous.
And he worked real hard on that, and he apparently had quite a few left over.
He said that at BronyCon, some people purchased these simply to burn them. And I was like, for me, for me, holding on to having this is like a testament. It's like a Purple Heart.
I survived this.
Yeah, it's pretty much like to me. It's a giant Purple Heart. I filled out more of my DVD case, which is starting to get very, very cluttered at this point. Have Zakora listed up there. I got Mando. There's Nicole, and just everyone on the front. GM Barrow. It's littered at this point with names. So Peter New. Yeah, it's this is my personal memento. If I ever rage quit the fandom, I might put this up, but who knows? And the last thing, I'm gonna have to get up to get this, but this is by far, and not to discourage anyone who has ever given us a gift before, but this is by far my favorite gift of all time. Oh no, a bear's fault.
I hope he's reaching for something just off screen and not what it looks like.
Drum roll, please.
There we go. Sorry.
I?
Moose fell.
Oh, that Paper Ponies piece. That thing is incredible.
Oh my god, I love this. Oh, it's so
is
good.
The AC is currently holding up the Bronyville Paper Ponies
Wow.
shadow box that they made 2 of. One for myself and one for AC, and gave it to us at the convention. And it is amazing. All the little details they put into it. There was a lot of love poured into the creation of this design. And there's all the little in-jokes. There's the fire status and Sorry in the background. And my betrayal of poor Rainbow Dash's favorite pony, because I have the rarity mug now.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, that looks really nice.
Wow.
I believe Paper Ponies just contacted me a couple days ago about doing a charity piece next year, and I'm really excited about what they do for my art style.
Yeah,
Awesome.
It's certainly very, very nice, and I've got to install hooks so I can put it over my computer. I'm going to have to relocate the Sophie print of Luna that I have hanging over my PC and replace it with that, but I'll move her somewhere else.
That's acceptable.
Oh yeah, because I bought back in March, I believe, in Atlanta. I told you that all the money I spent that con was at your table, and so most of the pony art that I have is yours. So, just so you know.
No, I can't complain.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little jealous. While the cast and crew were kind enough to sign some stuff for my daughter, the only thing I picked up from the convention, other than a common cold, was I walked into the green room Sunday evening and saw that Andrea had left a signed print for me.
Aww.
That's sweet. I didn't even grab a con
Sweet
shirt.
of her.
Yeah,
Look how ethical I am. Never make it on the street.
I got a little nightmare-itis myself, which has been the lightest cold I've ever had in my entire life.
Yeah, I had a little bit of it like Monday, but I thought it was probably just because I was so out of it and tired. I slept quite a bit the couple days after the con. So what do you got there, AC?
So, because we've gotten that, I'm going to actually, this wall behind me that Starry is sitting at, which I'm usually sitting exactly where she is when I do the show, but she was sleeping earlier, so I didn't want to bother her. I'm actually going to start filling that whole wall out with stuff, so not only for Bronyville, but also for Fandom Unlimited, so we can just have kind of a geek wall behind me while doing the show. So there was some other stuff I picked up. Starry picked up this Luna print, which is very dark, but very, very detailed.
Oh, wow.
I'm not even sure. Do you know, Sweetie? Do you know
that?
Who did this particular print? Do you know, Sweetie?
Oh, that's beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, she says that she doesn't actually know their name, but she picked this up, and I mean, it's a gorgeous dark. I mean, it's very, very dark, but it's a very, very detailed, gorgeous print.
That print could only be nicer if it was Davenport instead of Luna. Only way.
Well, this one's the edit, so.
Right. The other one is Alicorn Davenport.
Alicorn Davenport.
And
I'm beginning to wonder if you feel about Davenport the way I feel about Ewan McGregor.
Ewan McGregor is.
I don't know. How do you feel about Ewan McGregor? Is that a whole different podcast?
Didn't we discuss this for like 10 uncomfortable minutes at dinner?
We may have done, but they kept bringing me food and that strange but awesome.
Paparina?
That's the one, yeah.
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 For the record, fully Alexis fermented sugarcane.
It's very tasty.
And one last thing I have is our friend Kefka Floyd. He gave me one of these that we can fill it out with, but it's his Pinkie Pie is watching you forever.
Yes, I have some of his stuff. I don't have the place to hang it up. I need to reorganize it because I have the full set of the prints. I have all 9 of them now. And I need to find a way to put them into the 3x3 grid because I don't have enough space to put it across the wall. I could. I don't know if Dylan would let me, but I could because then I would be taking up even more pony space. But I think I want to just do a 3x3 grid of those and signed. And there was a guy who made a bunch of Nightmare Nights posters. It was like Rainbow Dash in front of Reunion Tower, which is really cool. And he gave me a whole bunch of them at the end of the con to give to my staff. And I made sure that as many people as wanted one got one. And I got that one signed by Jason and Jim and Woody.
Want to know a super secret?
What's a super secret?
Jimmy discovered this. I can't take credit. But it turns out if you get all 9 of those prints, and keep in mind Sandy's selling them because we have inventory left over. If you figure out the order correctly, they form a continuous ring, a horizontal ring where you can tape them all together or however you want to mount them, and it creates one long 9-print horizontal picture where the left side of the first picture actually matches the right side of the other picture, and you can stand there like you're standing in the middle of Ponyville and look around.
Oh, pixel kitties for you.
Time to Oculus Rift that crap. Let's do this.
Oh, yeah. And like Bob said, we do have quite a few print sets left. And we're selling them for like $25. And that's shipped within the U.S. If you're in Canada, sorry. I found out just how expensive it is to ship a T-shirt and a print set to Canada the other day. So, U.S. only. So, if you want to email us at Bronyville or email us at nightmarenightsdallas@gmail.com, we'll point you in the right direction where you drop the cash and forward it, and I'll mail it out. I've got a whole bunch of prints. Man, I've got a bunch of prints.
All right. Anything else before we pull Nightmare Nights Dallas 13 to a close?
I'd like to hear Spain say something because she's just been sitting there quietly while we yammer.
About what? I can talk about anything.
Well, how was your vending experience?
Oh, Lord.
No, it was actually really good. I've vended at everything from like really large cons to like much smaller cons than this one, and it was fairly good and profitable, and I really enjoyed the people that came to my table. And unlike other cons, I didn't really have anyone that came to my table and kind of not creeped me out, but those people that kind of just hover and everyone, exactly. Everyone was super nice, and I really enjoyed myself. It was really well run. One of the best run dealers I've ever actually experienced. So that was also really nice, because sometimes as a dealer it gets a little hard to deal with, like, where do I reg, like, is it different from like the room, and when are the hours, and I think it was BronyCon that added a random extra hour like 45 minutes before the dealers closed, and I had like all these dinner plans that I had to change. So is really awesome to just kind of have a nice, well-run con.
Thank you.
Thank you. And yes, Jess is a real pro. She has done this for many years now and knows what she's doing when it comes to dealer stuff. So we were quite happy to have her aboard.
And Pixel Kitties being there, which, by the way, Tabletoppers next week on Sunday. This is like attempt number 5. But next...
Oh, I see. I just had a case of spontaneous decapitation.
No!
Wait a minute. Did AC just get credit as Andy's co-chair? Seriously? Did that just happen in text?
I didn't... There has been a lot of people thanking me, and I'm like, guys, all I did was, like, be a goober and run around and be helpful.
I am out.
AC, Bob has just flipped the table. He's taken the headphones off. He's raiding my fridge of all the Shiner. He's going to walk out the door.
There has been a lot of people thanking me, and I'm just like, I helped. I definitely helped Reg on Thursday, but my involvement for this was probably about like a month and a half ago, saying, yeah, sure, I'll help with some stuff. And then at the con, driving people around in a rented Chevy SUV. That was a nice SUV.
I gotta say that you getting that was a hell of a boon.
Yeah,
just saying.
I didn't know I'd use that much.
There's always things that we can do better. You live and learn. You pull off a great con, and then you try to do better next time around. But I was able to call in many loyal friends locally and like, yo, hey, I need your car for about 10 minutes. How do you feel about transporting some VIPs from a restaurant back to the hotel? Because I knew how tired you were on Saturday after the Fogo thing, so I managed to get Dylan and Mdefmic and Inky Spots and myself. I actually I shoved Sibsy, Jim, and Woody into my little VW Rabbit. It got them there and back, but it was one of those. Well, AC has had enough for today. I'm gonna make sure this gets done.
Ooh, those were some days.
Yep.
I would have done more. I was just like, However,
it's all good.
It worked out fine. Worked out great. So, all right. Well, tell you what. Well, let's end with this because we still got news and everything else in the show that is lying ahead of us, even though we've went an hour thus far.
Hey, it was certainly it's super great to talk about a con and just gush about how well it went off and everybody was happy, and spending half an hour going, "Oh Celestia, the fires."
You were so spooked every time before the con I brought up Unicon. You were just like, "Shut up! Stop it!
Don't compare me! Don't curse me!
Don't say it!" Like it was gonna be true. Like you hadn't done all your homework beforehand, and not like you were gonna run off with money bags and your scooter into the desert.
Somewhere in the desert between Vegas and Mexico, there is a pile of bleached bones next to a hover-round, and a tattered burlap sack with a giant green cash sign painted on it.
Unfortunately, open it up and it's all full of Unicon bucks.
Oh man. One last thing, we have to mention the Lakewood guy.
Oh, dude, Lakewood guy was awesome. Thank you very much. Yeah, it would be remiss to say it. So there's a brewery down there in Texas. Only been there for a year, I found out. But Lakewood Brewing, I believe. Is that right?
Yes.
Yep. And he came on Saturday and came with a mound of beer of all these different types. It was pretty much one of those situations where it's just like, come with me. Let me show you where all the important people are. They're going to want to know you. And they did. And they were...
This was the chap who was growing his moustache out for November, right? This was the guy who looked like Freddie Mercury. His beer was amazing.
Yep.
That was so kind of him.
Yep. It was was really, really great. We ended up crashing the M.A. Larson panel for a little bit and then dispensed beers and left.
That was amazing too.
Just dropping by with
So
those.
if you're in Dallas at any point, you want to get something good and local, get some Lakewood.
Yeah, they are their Temptress was just as good as many like 5-star beers I've had in the past. So that was fantastic. I love it. I love a nice dark fruit strong beer.
It was strong, wasn't it? Like 9.1% ABV.
9%. Those are so good.
Yeah.
Beer Advocate has it a 91
Yeah.
out of 100.
It is pretty good.
It is a sweet milk stout, 9.1 ABV.
And
We
he was,
need
and
to
it is
bring
a
up the
year-round.
Fetch Beer label for it if you guys haven't already.
yeah, and he brought even some specialties. He brought he brought some like growlers of stuff that were one-offs. Like he had an Imperial Dark Ale, like an IPA except dark. I was like, what? Okay. Like it was great. If you're Texas area, Lakewood Brewing, check it out. There's a Brony inside. They are actually talking about trying to make a cider called Tree Kicker, I believe.
Great.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Tree Kicker cider. That would be pretty fantastic. So
All right, so at
Sandy.
this point, we have talked about the con for about an hour
We
on the
have.
live show.
Yep. So
I hope that people are still listening at this point.
there are 58
But
people. The viewers keep going up.
I cannot express how happy and proud I am with my staff, and they did a fantastic job, and we put on a great con. And while we can't promise that there's going to be a 2014 because there's still some stuff that has to settle out, but everybody got paid, everybody's happy. Let's all go on to the next one. We've raised the bar. Come on, other cons, step it up.
Yep. And what are your?
Let me level
Oh, go ahead.
slightly with folks. There are currently 2 things standing in the way of us announcing a 2014 run. I don't want to get into too much detail. You'll have to forgive me, but we should know more in the next week or two. We're not keeping you guys in suspense on purpose, but we have a couple of issues to resolve, and then we'd be able to announce for 2014.
Okay.
All right, and then you do have some additional plans, Sandy.
Hmm.
You mentioned you're going to be helping out another con.
Oh yeah, actually, geez, this was yesterday. So I am officially going to be helping out on staff at BabsCon. I dug a pretty good ditch. I get a bigger shovel. And then there was another con that was saying, "Hey, you want to come out and help us?" That's one in Canada next year, and I'm like, "Well, we shall see." And I'm probably also going to end up working with our cosplay head, Miss Ellen Winkler, at A-Kon this year as one of her cogs. So I have suitably impressed enough people to get handed more jobs.
Sandy, it keeps happening.
The ride never ends.
It sure doesn't. All right, well, that's fantastic. I guess we can wrap up Nightmare Nights Dallas 13. We've been talking about it for ages.
I wish. I've still got a hotel bill to pay Tuesday.
That's true. Well, maybe it'll end. We'll see what happens with this ride. All right, so shall we go ahead and filter over to the news? Because our news ponies have been working hard this week.
No kidding.
Yeah, there is a ton to talk about here. First off, Sandy.
I was going to say,
I'll go for it.
if Sophie and Foley, if you guys need to take off, you certainly can. We're just going to be going on to the news segment, then emails afterwards. Thank you much for coming on if you have to take off. Otherwise, feel free to stick around.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to stick around for a bit if you don't.
All right, hang around, talk, chatties. We got tons of news here, so let's do this.
All right.
I actually do have a hockey game to go to tonight.
Oh,
so I'm gonna
what you gonna
pop
go
off
see?
To do that. The Avalanche Panthers. but
Oh,
they're not playing the Stars, so it makes me kind of sad, but I'll deal with it.
so your
You can
Avs-
root for the ice to collapse.
That's actually a good idea.
That's how I feel about it during the Red River shootout. Texas OU, kind of root for the Cotton Bowl to fall over.
Gotcha. Yeah. No, I love my Stars, but I will. My friends are all Avs fans around here.
And it happens, and they're doing good this season. So.
Yeah, they are. They beat the Stars last time, which was sad.
I'm so sorry. It must have been good to go back and go to Texas and be like, this is where they are.
Yeah, I would see people like Stars stuff on, and I'd be like, oh, that's normal. I'm in Dallas.
I know somewhere around here is Lettinen.
Well, thanks, guys. I really appreciate having me on.
All right. Have a good one.
You too.
Take care, Sophie.
All right. Well, let's see.
right.
News time. Fandom. Fire status. Sandy, go.
There is no fire.
Yay. Fireless.
Fireless. There is no fire. In fact, the hype train is fueling up and getting ready for what is looking to be a pretty cool season 4.
Yeah, let me see. What's the pony countdown? How long until the next episode? You're looking at 6 days, 17 hours, 28 minutes, and 28 seconds. Guys, that's next week. Get to see Princess Twilight. It begins again. It
So when do we
begins
start,
again. And Doctor Who. Everything's happening next week.
Woo! Riot! Yay!
So yeah, wow, it's weird to. I guess we've just had our heads down so much in this Nightmare Night stuff. It's like come back up for air and just like, all right. So now we have to plan for the show next week. Oh, okay. Yeah, we got a 2-parter. So get to talk about that next week. It's gonna be something.
Spoilers.
Max spoilers. I just noticed Pony's countdown. If you wait a minute, rarity gets dragged across the screen. That's really weird. PonyCountdown.com for all of your countdowning pony needs. That was really weird. I kind of like that.
It's been so long since I went to that site because it's been so long since I was
you had a
counting down to a
need.
new episode. Exactly.
So what's that thing? It's like dawn of the 200 and somethingth day. Yeah. 10 days remain or whatever that I posted a few days back.
Oh, God. The Pony Countdown, it also has lots of weird things now. Like if you click Derpy up in the clouds, it changes your... Go check Pony Countdown. Holy crud.
I just did that, and that's terrifying. Nah.
There's so many things. There's so many things that it does now. This is...
They've certainly upped the game there.
Oh, my God. Click Cheerly.
Oh,
Wow, this
the
one-
eyes follow.
Go check out ponycountdown.com. That's weird.
Oh, great.
This is great.
Outstanding.
If you click Scootaloo, she becomes a chicken. Oh, man. There's lots of little hidden Easter eggs on there. That's kind of cool.
These are pretty crazy. All right, let's talk about news because there's tons of it. We don't need to get distracted by ponycountdown.com continuously. All right, what's up first? What have our wonderful news ponies found for us this week?
Novus is certainly provided us quite a bit. So episodes 5 and 6 episode titles have been revealed. Spoilers, folks.
I must mute my audio.
Okay. There's season 4, episode 5, Flight to the Finish. Doesn't have a synopsis, but it might be the Scootaloo episode. Can she fly? Or will she... Or is she going to be forever the
What are your
chicken?
feelings? Should Scootaloo fly or not?
I don't know.
I like flightless Scootaloo. I'm a terrible person.
I don't see why that makes you terrible. That was the original idea.
Am I safe to return? Have the titles been revealed?
Not yet.
All right,
no.
what's the close your ears.
And then, of course, the episode 6 is the Power Ponies episode. If you saw the clip from Comic-Con, that the animatics, that's going to be the Superhero City episode that they showed off, where every pony is a superhero of some sort, with their weird XPs. Pinkie Pie is the Flash, and other such things.
I'm going to wait until Full Papers returns and say something that actually isn't a spoiler.
I'm listening again now.
Okay. Luna turns into a plate of brownies.
Oh, man. He's going to be the best and the most delicious.
The most delicious Alicorn Pony episode.
I'm okay with this.
Yeah, lots of spoilery stuff, Season 4 stuff. Obviously, they're hyping it up. They've released several trailers that, people are getting hype about, and people are doing wild speculation because wild mess guessing is what we do very well when provided with a minimum of information and a lot of free time. That's just kind of how it goes. So apparently there's going to be a Discord song, which shouldn't surprise anybody.
I'm Discord, la 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 la.
Hey, he's sung in the Brony doc, so it's not like he doesn't have experience. So that's kind of cool.
Let's see. I'm pulling up for the next thing coming up. So, Discord song, Spike Micro. I have that. Yank that up. Go back.
Sorry, it looks like I do need to take off. Sorry.
Okay. All right, no problem.
Apologies for having a life.
Thank you. Well, I apologize for having a life. I have apologized.
Oh, of course you
everything. It's what I do.
apologize.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm
You're
sorry.
sorry. You're apologizing. What's that?
That's going to get caught in a loop if I'm not careful. So anyway, thanks again for everything. Good to see you guys. I'll catch you next time. I don't know. I hope so.
That sounds good. It'd be
I'll
good
see
if
you
you
when
caught
I'll-
us next time.
Good hearing from you, man.
I'll see you when I see you. Take care, everyone.
Take care. Bye.
Thanks, Foley.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, Spike Micro.
Certainly very strange. It was a thing.
What, the Spike Micro series?
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to Luna's next month. Much
What?
like Spike can't seem to carry an episode, he doesn't seem to carry a comic book very well.
So the fact that he no longer has Pee-wee and the fact he raises a sentient race of beings, that wasn't cool?
Simpsons did it. And
True.
South Park and Futurama. There's nothing technically wrong with it. It's certainly cute.
It just wasn't anything particularly inspired, you're saying?
Yeah.
But look at their faces! Oogly googlies!
They're cute and they evolve quickly, and he breeds his own little race of green dudes. And then they fight.
And they war, and he learns about being a good parent, I guess?
I guess.
And then he teaches them to read, and then stuff. And then they become aliens. There, that's the end. I think it's the story of Cocoon. I don't know. I didn't watch Cocoon.
I mean, it's certainly better than, like, the Fluttershy one and the Rainbow Dash one. Don't get me wrong.
I kind of like the goblins from the Rainbow Dash one, but it was pretty repetitive. But yeah, it wasn't my favorite, that's for sure.
Another thing I picked up that wasn't included, they did a My Little Pony art gallery. It was $4, and it was basically small prints, or not really prints. It's the interior pages are full color, and I believe they're the ones that were included in the red, black, and blue label special limited edition stuff. So you have like the Pinkie Pies and the various arts from Agnes Grabowska and Alex Deligiannis, and it's all lots of cute little official art that they commissioned that they decided, hey, we'll just put these in the out for sale, and well, for $4 you certainly can't complain. It is a nice collection of original art.
Yep. Let's see. Looking through some of the other comics, so one we haven't talked about before is the Equestria Girls comic.
That's nice. I haven't read it.
So I can bring it up here, so all you people can see. Except I'm failing miserably at this point, and actually doing it. The Sunset Shimmer.
Play him off, Sandy.
Oh no. I'll just say the Sunset Shimmer storyline's kind of interesting. The other storyline is kind of until the end. There. That's all I will say to not spoil it. It's also huge. It's like 40-something pages.
Yeah, they certainly put in a lot of work to do it. It's a long comic, but yeah. I saw that and I'm like, yeah, I think I'll just pass on that.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Capper's in the chat. Hi, Capper. You're an internet superstar. Hi.
He's been in from the get-go.
I've been unobservant.
You can't read the chat. He has to look cool on camera.
I know, it's so difficult with my stupid hat. It's either a stupid hat or my stupid hair, and I like the hat better. Nah. All right, let's see. So, what else we got here? There's the micro. There was the... Let's see. Which one are we on now?
Well, Nicole Oliver auctions off some Celestia stuff for charity.
All right.
Probably already passed at this point.
Take a click.
Let's see. Click.
And
It actually has 2 weeks left. It started at 50, I guess, and then at 201. She is apparently... If you click to pop out the image, it's even smaller than the actual image on the page.
wow, how unhelpful. Let me see. Yes, you're correct. It is actually smaller. Or actually, it's the exact same size, but now in a window. No, it actually is smaller. That's so unhelpful. Oh, the picture of her pops out bigger, though.
Yeah. Those are just like sketch cards or autograph cards she's done.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, yeah, no, that is out there. So, Nicole Oliver, she signed a Celestia Equestria Girls box. So if you want that, you get Magic Horse and Magic Lady Principal. So, there's that. I don't think there's much more to say on that. Let's see. Google can't keep Pinky out. Let's check this. See, Pinkie Pie hacker returns, wins another $50K. Oh boy, it was that challenge,
This guy.
wasn't it?
I'm glad he's using powers for good.
Pretty much. Yeah, this happened a year ago where there was someone that won a competition for hacking Google Chrome, and the exact same person did it again.
3 straight years.
All Pinkie Pies. We need to find this guy, except he will find us before we find him.
In 2012, not only did he manage to, all the copies of Chrome are just on their own station, right? Not only did he manage to hack his copy, he caused Pinky to pop up on everyone else's screen too, which would have been impossible given the limitations of the competition.
The researchers' new Chrome exploit chained together an integer overflow vulnerability and a sandbox escape one, earning him a prize of $50,000 for Pinkie Pie.
Which I think is pretty cool. I mean, fourth walls and firewalls, as Gray Wolf mentioned. Yes.
Very interesting. And of course, let's see. I wonder how much Pinky information is on the article. I don't see anything there, but let's see. Look for the word pony. There's nothing else mentioned here, but in the
it's one of those things that to the average person, it's like, wait, what? I don't get it. But people that actually do network security are like, oh wow, that's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
So to each their own.
Yep. And it just deals with Pony in its way. BBC does a thing on bronies. BBC meet bronies, adult men who like My Little Pony.
Yep. That was from Brony days, I believe, in France. Was, I think, the video that got posted. Surprise. Hey, BBC. Welcome to 2 years ago. But I guess that's kind of cool. I mean, it's the BBC. They're kind of totes legit. Just don't read the comments.
Why would anyone ever want to do this? That's so weird. Yeah. Moving on, Daniel Ingram actually has a VA spot this season. He tweeted out, came out of another epic MLP session for playback session. Dang, what a great episode, and not just because of my VA cameo. I actually meant to bring that up during the con, but never ended up having the time because Big Jim Miller was the voice of Sombra, wasn't he?
He was.
Yeah. Crystals. Would have loved to get him to do that at one point, just for no really good reason. Crystals. Pony slaves. Oh, Sombra. You were such an underutilized villain. Let's just nuke him. It's so silly.
You don't need to reuse him. Villains only all die in one shot now.
Come on, this is turning into a WoW raid. They're just one-shotting these things. Let's see. Cameo, Living Tombstone coming back to pony music. That's good. Gonna hear more Tombstone remixes. I think we're gonna see a lot more people doing some stuff once the season comes around.
I mean, just everybody comes out of there from doing other things. I mean, if people haven't just been like, ugh, ponies, and be done with it, those that are still around and have been doing other things will be like, yes, fresh content, yes, let's remix everything. New opening song? Sure, let's remix it. I don't know if there is one or not. It's like songs, so many songs, remix all the songs.
Yep, so
just wait until there's a dubstep remix of that one Delancey song. It'll be really weird.
Yes, wait for Eurobeat to make his Eurobeat version. It's going to come. We know it's going to happen. Let's see. Some information here. Funrise Luna is just a little bit too expensive. Let's see. For right now, they don't have plans to add to their Princess Pony assortment. It looks like that there's just a problem that they're trying to make it as accurate and nice as possible, but just their current, it just proved too costly to try and do it right now. So no moon butts for right now, just because of the production cost, but maybe in the future.
Unacceptable.
That was what they have said. And unfortunately, I think one of the downsides of Nightmare Nights was there was one thing that I know that we were in bated breath to do, but ended up not happening, and that was the interplay game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So there is now another official release date announced. What is Starry doing?
December 13th? You have been...
Blanket Monster.
I've just been attacked by the blanket monster. I'm sorry for any of you listening. Starry has attacked me.
Yeah, December 13th is the release date of the new CCG.
Mm-hmm.
It's only a short delay.
It's so hot. It's warm in there. So, yeah. I didn't get the chance to actually do in the demo stuff, but...
we were all a little busy.
Just a little. Just an incy bit. So.
But hey, if there's BabsCon, there's always BabsCon.
There is. They'll probably be there. There'll probably be cards there, and that'd be the first. That's probably the first big con that'll be there, and I bet they'll be selling cards.
Yeah, because I don't think there's anything. I mean, because there's Canterlot, which is a pretty small convention up in Canada. Beyond that, I don't really think there's much of anything until BabsCon.
Yeah, there's some little ones, but nothing huge. None of the ones that are really trying to do much. A lot of the smaller meets and such. So,
yep.
All right. Okay, and that's the news. You guys definitely scrounged those up. Thanks to Novice for grabbing pretty much all the news this week. You rock, woohoo. That's awesome. Episode discussion, season 4 is coming. Beware.
Yep.
We're going to talk about
next week. If we do whatever show we decide to do, There will be pony discussion.
Yeah, we're probably doing a Bronyville. I think what we should do is just have Bronyville episodes on the weeks that Pony comes. If there's a Pony off week, we do Fandom Unlimited. Seems like a good way to do this.
Okie doke. We have the URLs and everything, so when we do decide to use it up, we'll have it.
Yep. All right, well, let's go ahead and move on to emails. As always, you can email across to us at bronyville@gmail.com. We love your emails because they allow us to respond to you and talk about stuff. We like talking to you guys, so, it's a fun thing to do. I will go first, Sandy second, and Bob can get thirdsies.
Yay.
Is there a third seas?
Is there a thirdsies? I don't know. All right, there's no thirdsies.
Oh, there's three. They're okay.
Okay, all right, well, then I will start first. There's a lot of words here. I need to make sure this one isn't by Pico Pie. Okay, it's not by Pico Pie. Pico. Greetings, Applegorn of Cideronia, Jefferson of, I don't know, Tatooine or something, and possible guests. I'm quite glad to say that I was able to attend SandyCon last weekend, and even more glad to say I was satisfied with it. Being my very first pony convention, my first convention, full stop being last year's Midwest Fur Fest, it proved less auspicious and well-planned, impelling me to desire to attend more pony cons in the future, including the possible NMND2, which is no small feat for a first-year con that proved much larger than expected. I have no substantial complaints about the convention, as even Saturday, aka the last-minute schedule change con, did not prove to be too much of an inconvenience. Most of the panels I attended were very enjoyable, with the Loose Cannon Full Papers M.A. Larson and everyone else panel proving to be a particularly noteworthy standout. And being a part of the live audience for the first time added a welcome additional layer to the experience. In addition to attending the panels, I made some friends, partook in some of the local eateries, purchased a good deal from the dealer's hall, including one of the awesome 4DE Twilight plushes, and became one of the founding participants in an MLP Monopoly game in the Corral on Friday, one which was visited by none other than M. Def Mech himself, who, it seemed, had some difficulty hooking up his game system to the television in the room. Wow, this is a long sentence. Ultimately, these would help the event easily become the most memorable of what was otherwise a very uneventful year. Also,
Thanks.
as potentially creepy as it sounds, I was also glad to see you both and Bronyville's resident background pony in the flesh, regardless of the fact that I didn't really talk to any of you or anything of that nature. Incidentally, AC is taller than I expected, and there's not much point to me mentioning that, but I did nonetheless. I only got to catch glimpses of Sandy in passing, which I suppose could be considered a testament of how busy he was over the weekend. Suffice to say, I conclude the events was well worth it. I was able to see AC much earlier during registration on Thursday, at which I received my badge and con book just before 7 that night. I was Cameron Dillon. But I won't blame you if you don't remember any more than that in your position. I don't. I probably would have forgotten me as well. That's kind of sad. Seeing everyone's favorite cactus chef speak before the crowd at closing ceremonies was, as a result of the aforementioned, quite satisfying. And 'twas also quite the pleasant surprise to hear Bob Carr, lawyer beard extraordinaire, give a shout out to one of my roommates, Charlotte Binkowski. AC, if you just so happen to hear a long-haired individual from the row behind you, likely spread across 2 chairs, shout, "Oh yeah, I'm roommates with her." In that moment, it was me. This naturally makes me horse famous by association. Charlotte, her father Chris, Powell Kutzlars, a local university student, and myself all shared a room and an approximately 38-hour round trip from Southeast Michigan and back just to attend your wonderful event. I hope you're happy, because we most certainly were. Keep up all the great work, not only on Nightmare Nights 2, but you should you choose to have it, but on this podcast as adulation inclined listener, Cameron Dillon, aka Generic Poets.
Or genetic. One of those words.
Genetic Poets. That works.
If we do have a second year, then I think our marquee guests of honor should be Charlotte and Lena. They stole the show.
Pretty much. Let's see, but let's see, anything on there? Yeah, I may recall. I think I do recall someone at closing ceremonies, but yeah, there was a lot of people at that con, and I think I ran into several people several times, and they went, "Oh, hey, see," I'm like, hey, I gotta run.
Hey, Chief.
Whoever
How you
are.
doing, guy?
It's a kitty.
It's a kitty. There's a kitty in the stream. Great for podcasts.
Yep.
Good going, Starry.
She's derailed the podcast momentarily so you can pet the cat.
For the kitty. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's everything on that. So, all right. Thanks very much, Genetic Poets. Sandy, what we got?
All right. Hey there, Cider, Sandy, Starry, and guests. I stumbled across episode 46 of your show when I was still new, and only recently came back for more. I wish I had returned sooner. I'd like to say that you guys are awesome, with 3 exclamation points in back of it. I plan on making it through episodes 1 to 127 by the end of 2013. Goodness. I spend most of my time animating, and your podcast keeps me entertained whenever my girlfriend, the emo gag, is asleep or away from Skype. I hope you're all having fun at Nightmare Nights Dallas. I wish I could be there myself. But sadly, I live in New Zealand and do not have enough sheep to build a raft.
Well done,
it's
sir.
a shame. I would love to meet you guys. If it has not been recommended already, I urge you to check out Blue Shift on FimFiction. His stories are exceptionally well written, and he brings forth some of the best humor this fandom has to offer. Airshipping is Magic, Winter Wrap-Up in Hell, and The Last Stand of King Somber, only a few of his masterful works. Smiley face.
I love Airshipping is Magic, so yes.
It is certainly a pretty crack story. But yeah, she has, or he, they, I cannot tell, has written quite a few stories, actually. Equestrian Doom Patrol, Whatever Happened to That Shoe from Roger Rabbit. Life is a Lemon, Slice of Life, comedy stuff. Rainbow Dash and the Ultimate Showdown of Ultimate Destiny. Oh yeah, this guy's getting some pretty good, lots of thumbs up, not a lot of thumbs down. Twilight Sparkle becomes a cloud to declare her love for Rainbow Dash. I don't even know. So yeah, check that out. Might be fun. Also, shameless self-plug, you can check out my animations on YouTube at Oblivion Fall, soon to be Nightfall Studio. I've also done some animation work for Boogle Bronies and Alligator Tub this year, but you've probably already seen that already. So he links in the show notes. The Oblivion Fall, let's see. I have to find my spray.
Huh?
I think it's the Team Fortress 2 thing. I don't know.
Oblivion Fall.
But they've done some interesting animation stuff, so that's kind of cool. And anyways, got to get back to making stuff. Keep up the good work, guys. Cough, Applejack is best pony. P.S. If you're wondering about the sheep, there aren't many sea turtles around here. I don't know what you do is you trade your sheep for wood.
Right.
And then you build the raft from that.
But New Zealand is just one giant port, right? So he can just turn 4 sheep into anything.
Yeah, you just toss them into the ocean and you pick whatever else out. It's Catan. It works that way. So, Bob, there's this one really short last email for you.
Why, thank you. And they're current. Dear Bronyville / Fandom Unlimited podcast, I've recently been listening to your new podcast, and so far I'm really enjoying it. In the first episode, I got hooked onto the TV series Person of Interest thanks to Sandy. So my question is, what are your other favorite TV series? And maybe give a short review on what it's about and why you like it so much. Keep up the great shows. Your faithful listener. Oh, Pat, I'd like to buy a vowel. Anyone want to take a swing at this?
Euphemosis. We'll
I'm
just
going to go French. I'm going to go oui fa soir. How's that?
Ooh, I like that. Oui fa soir. So My Little Pony is pretty cool.
That's a good one.
It's about magical horses.
I hear there's a bit of a fandom.
Doctor Who, which is coming back the same day, is pretty awesome.
No one's leaving the house on Saturday.
Pretty much. I do like a bunch of if I have to be slave to TV series, I don't watch that much TV. I watch a lot of internet cartoons, I guess now. Like as I said, Bee and Puppy Cat, the Cartoon Hangover stuff, Bravest Warriors, really like that. Been catching Wander Over Yonder, so that's on TV. Let's see what else.
I was gonna say I've watched started watching Arrow, which is kind of cheesy but cool. Think Smallville except Green Arrow and less weird drama and more superheroics. It's pretty cool. I've watched the first several episodes and it didn't make my eyeballs melt or my skin peel off. So that's pretty good. I also don't recommend Hemlock Grove. That show's kind of a hot mess. Honestly, I don't have a lot of shows that I've been watching right now for, I was kind of a little busy the recent past. So, yeah. What about you, Bob? Do you watch TV outside of stuff with Lena?
Right, I was about to say, what you guys have to keep in mind is I have a toddler and I teach weeknights, right? So my my TV watching is a little unusual, right?
Little's Pet Shop and Pound Puppies.
Right. I'm not going to get... Well, whenever Pound Puppy she comes on, she says, no puppies, more ponies. Ponies on. Ponies on, please. So that means it's time to break out Netflix. Let's see. I'm trying to think of something I watch that's unusual that not everyone is already watching, a la Walking Dead. Gotta love the dictatorship. So, unusual series that you might not have given a try. I'm going to go with Orange is the New Black. And since we're a family show, I'm not going to describe it. It's life in a women's prison. Enjoy, folks.
Sounds good. There is one very weird aside or one deviation I want to do real fast, which was you mentioned your daughter and ponies. And there was an interaction at the convention with her and Andrea that was kind of adorable.
Yeah. Okay. This had been going back and forth both publicly and via DM between me and Andrea for a long time. I told Andrea that the first time Pinkie Pie's voice came out of her face, my daughter was just going to wear her out for the rest of the weekend. And her final word in this was just bring it. So, yeah, during the opening ceremonies, she broke out the Pinkie Pie voice, and my daughter spent the rest of opening ceremonies looking around backstage for Pinkie Pie. And jaw dropped. She knows Pinkie's around somewhere. She hears her looking everywhere. It was pretty cute.
Go on. Pinkie. Pinkie?
Pinkie Pie? Pinkie Pie? Where Pinkie? Pinkie, where are you? Pinkie. Yeah, kind of heartbreaking and adorable.
And she finally didn't she? There was a few cases of that where there was also another small kid that attended, and there were a bunch of pretty young attendees as well, parents in tow and everything. And yeah, a few cases where Andrea would just stop and just drop into Pinkie voice, and you could just see their eyes just get massive. I know that. It's that thing. It's that
didn't
thing.
She also? Didn't Lena also have? She heard Brenda use Zikora's voice. It was like Zeba. Yeah. But apparently, I saw that Jamie had tweeted that she had said Zecora today.
First time.
So she's learning vocabulary and character names with ponies.
That is what is
Yeah,
important.
she spent most of Monday and Tuesday wandering around the house asking for Pinkie Pie and Zeba. So, post-con depression affects even the very young.
Needs to spend more time with Pinky. All right, let's go ahead and roll this forward. Thank you all for all of your emails. As I said, you can always email across to us at bronyville@gmail.com. We love those. And it's super, super cool, so thank you. Time for 5-star iTunes Bronies. We are at 823 ratings, so thank you to Desert Nocturne for leaving us a rating. And we are...
These good people.
Yeah, they are. And it's great when we're up there. We constantly keep fighting. Like right now, when we're number 4 at What's Hot and on iTunes right now.
Yep.
Constantly up there. Will not stop until we are number 1. So.
Doug loves movies. You're on notice.
Yep. So
Film
we got
Spotting,
some...
The Truth. We're here to that weird The Champs with the two-headed dude. I mean, I don't know what the deal is with that.
Eh. You know. You can't win them all, but I want to win them all. I want to be at top of that What's Hot. One day we'll be hot enough. All right, well, it's time for One Cool Things. Let's roll down the show. Let's finish up. I need to get a cat off my lap.
No, you don't.
Like he was starting to roll around and trying to jump on desks. He was going to be very distracting. So let's see. One cool thing. I still have to think on mine. Sandy, what do you have for yours?
Mine is totally not pony related. It is a free album from the Chip. The band is called Descendants of Erdrick. They perform at Magfest, and they do metal with other instrument medleys from video games. It was something I saw on Destructoid today. Their album rundown. And it's a free album. They kickstarted it, sold all the physical copies they had, and posted the rest for download for free on Bandcamp. And it's pretty cool. I mean, it's a 12-track album, I think. Yeah, it's a 12-track album with medleys from like Zelda 2 and Ninja Gaiden 2, a bunch of NES stuff. That's kind of how Magfest and those guys normally do. So it's a free album of some stuff you've probably not heard a ton of, maybe. And it'll probably be the last One Cool Thing for a bit that's not pony, because holy crap, season 4 is coming.
All the pony is coming. All right. Well, I will roll back, and what I'm going to do, these guys are going to start rolling out a bunch of stuff from the convention because they recorded pretty much everything. But the Ponyville Live guys have stuff up for Nightmare Nights Dallas, and right now it is the VIP guest Q&A and including the proposal by One We Are Borg. So that's all listed in there. An hour and 26 minutes of video. You can watch that. So that is the NMND VA. All right, that was staff and VA.
Mm-hmm. That was everybody.
And VA panel. And I will list that inside of the show notes. You can always see the show notes over at BronyShow.com or BronyvillePodcast.com. So you can go find all of those. There you go. Go check that out. That is live. Well, was live from Nightmare Nights Dallas. Bob, your one cool thing is what?
Well, yesterday, life finally returned to post-con normal, right? Jamie's home from work. We're all hanging out together, have the day off, and Lena asks for a ride, which means lie down on your stomach, old man, so I can climb on your back and you can carry me around the living room. And she gets up on my back, and I'm crawling around the living room, and I say, "Is Daddy your pony?" And she says, "No, donkey. Hee-haw." At which point Jamie immediately starts cracking up and saying, "Does anybody have a toupee? This donkey is really, really bald." So, yeah, that's how I know my life is back to normal, suffering abuse from my wife and daughter. It's good times. It's like putting a bow on the whole thing.
I'm glad that this is back to the status quo for you.
Right.
It's no longer you're no longer too busy to to suffer the abuse on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
I'll see. Some of our fans have given us some additional one cool things. They wanted to bring up M.A. Crabson. Oh, geez. Oh, God. Oh, geez. Hold on. Oh, geez. Oh, geez. What is this? Ah. It's so weird.
That was from BronyCon.
I don't know why. I didn't even know this was a thing.
Well, he was wearing a crab hat because he was in Baltimore.
Ah.
Yes. And he also had a... he changes his icon for the convention he goes to. When he was at Brony Days, he had a beret and a faux mustache. And then he had a cowboy hat on for Nightmare Nights.
When he comes, I wonder what he'll do for BabsCon since he's set for that. Is he just going to have hipster glasses?
I am biting my tongue so hard right now.
Is there? Oh, yeah, there's some other... yeah, okay. It's probably best for that. Another one cool thing given is the Dr. and Derpy holiday lights.
Oh, man, I need those.
Hot Topic has some Time Pony and Dirt Pony holiday lights. You can light up your life. They are pretty pony, that is for sure. I don't know. I wonder how long it is, and just imagine buying boxes and boxes of those just strung around. All right. Well, it looks good. Thank you very much, everyone, for also helping out on the one cool thing side. Oh, they keep coming.
More than one cool thing.
Yeah, Novice
Lots of
just
cool
added
things.
in. Oh, the previous two was from a missing pony. Novice just added the Flufflepuff Tales Master of Pillows, which I have not watched, and I'm going to have to watch later. But I am a huge fan of the Flufflepuffs, so this will have to be seen in a little bit. I think Sandy is watching it right now.
Yes, it is.
I'm a little disappointed because my daughter loves to, and so Jamie was going to sew her up a Flufflepuff costume.
Just didn't happen.
Sadly, we didn't have the time. Yeah. Could have out-adorable the other little kids that way.
Pretty much. Fluffy pony. Craziest of ponies. All right, everyone. That's going to take care of us for this week. Thank you all. We are at the end of the show. First off, thanks to Bob and thanks to Foles and everyone. Thanks to Nightmare Nights Dallas. So thanks to all you guys.
Thanks for tolerating us.
You'll be hearing. Well, obviously, I'll be around, and I don't think Bob's going to be getting off the ride that easily. So we'll keep you guys in the loop about what comes up and what happens, and we'll hopefully get to see you guys on down the road.
We will see what happens with that. As always, as my co-host Sandy, you are the Thunder Bringer.
Yep. Count on me.
I sure do. And I also want to thank all you fans, be it if you are in the chat right now or if you're just listening to the show. Thank you for listening. We love every single one of you. We say this every week, and every week it is absolutely true. So thank you all. Do you want to know where you can find out more about the show? Well, that's good, because I have an entire blurb right here I can read for you. You can go over to BronyShow.com or BronyvillePodcast.com. Email us at Bronyville@gmail.com. You can join us roughly every Saturday, noon Pacific time. Or, that's 3 p.m. Eastern or, really late English time and other times.
Yep.
You can do that. That's at justin.tv/BronyvillePodcast. iTunes reviews. Those are good. We love those, no matter if it's U.S., Canadian, Zimbabwean. We love those reviews, so keep them up there. We constantly want to be up there high in the ratings because we want people to know Pony. You can listen to the show on Celestia Radio every Tuesday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, and 11 p.m. UTC. My Twitter account is at Bronyville.
Mine's at Chef Sandy.
And meetup groups, I am a member of the Bronies of Northern California.
And North Texas Bronies is mine.
And conventions, I think that...
BabsCon, we can definitely say that. Possibly FC.
Yeah, but I'll probably be at FC, and it looks. Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to miss BabsCon. So.
Yeah.
Yep, and maybe more conventions on the lines of Fandom Unlimited. So we'll see. Yep, the furthest confusionists.
Well, I'll be at A-Con.
That's the anime.
We'll both be cogging for Ellen.
Yep.
And Jamie's a cosplay contest judge this year, apparently.
But those are both in 2014. We have a little bit of time to take off and not be planning a convention for a little bit.
Yep.
Maybe.
In theory, it would certainly be easier year two. Been flattering. Not only have we gotten emails from all of our guests and guests of honor this year and a lot of attendees, and we thank you for every one of them. Gotten a few emails from show staffers who weren't guests this year asking if they can be guests next year.
Woo!
That's flattering.
Hey, we heard you had a good time. Can we come?
It's been on a pretty cool con.
I want to be part of the fun. Can we be part of the fun?
Can I come to Texas?
Can you ship us all the way across the border to have fun? Come to Texas.
Neither of the two people I've heard from so far were on the wrong side of the border.
Oh, all right. Oh, ooh. Now I'm suspicious.
Oh, well, except for the British one.
Oh.
So I guess 4 people.
Begin to guess. Begin to guess. All right. Till then, we will catch you next week. Next week is Actual Pony. Next week is Actual Pony.
Minus 7 days.
It ends. We finally, next week, we're going to talk about an episode. It's going to be called Princess Twilight. It is a 2-parter. It's back. The summer will end.
The wings didn't go away.
They didn't.
All your tears were for naught.
All right, everyone. We're going to go ahead and catch you next week. Till then, sleep well, every pony.
Adios.
Okay.